Hello everybody and welcome to the recap for August and September of 2024. Now I combined these 2 months because at the end of previous month I had nearly nothing to show for that month. Like there was very little I had, like shows I had finished or anything interesting that I had read or any games I had finished in that time. However, I made that decision a bit too hastily because in the last few days I kind of happened to, finish 3 games in the span of 3 days. But now those were kind of shorter and they were like at the very end of it, so not actually that big of an achievement or anything like that, but still. But yeah, I decided to combine these 2 months together, so at least it's gonna be reasonably sized. I'll first give some real life updates here. I'm still doing school here, so that's taking a lot of time out of my day, and that's a thing. And of course, I'm still busy with a lot of stuff, so that can be seen in my let's call it video infrequency. So yeah, I wish I could do more, but school's taking its toll on me, and fortunately I'm getting used to it and it's getting better. So slowly but surely my tempo will be improving. So yeah, I ain't got more to say, so let us move on to the media, but before that I will explain a few things. I have one like video series sort of thing here that I'm gonna talk about. I have one manga, and then I have 5 games, and then we actually have an art section. So yeah, remember all of the links will be in the description, and feel free to check them out. And of course, check out the timeline that or the timestamps. Those should have the names of the series. So I'm not gonna go into too deep of a detail as per usual, but still, if you want to avoid every spoiler, Alright, let's get to it. So first off, I have one series I want to or animation series I want to somewhat highlight. And while I have already mentioned Alan Becker earlier on, I want to once again highlight because they started doing with the stick animations, they started doing a influencer arc, which is kind of funny. It has a lot of references to the earlier works, and it feels very reminiscent to the animation versus animator series, and it had a lot of really fun stuff there that like a lot of references in the first episode that has already come out. And not only that, it had the accompanying channel, which kinda is the meta perspective channel that also was created, and that's just really funny immersion thing, and I really enjoy it. So I kinda wanted to highlight that series. I really have always loved Alan Becker, and I know that they have a team, so that just general animation that they do, it's just fantastic, and it's a really good example of doing communication and storytelling without words, mostly without words. So it's quite fantastic. I really, if you like animation, you should go check out Alan Becker's work. Then I want to highlight a manga, which is not a new one that I've been reading, but I want to highlight it again because the current arc that the manga is going through is just... I've been loving it so much, and that is once again Iruma, because I just love it so much. The current arc has some fantastic art, which I will be showing here, so, if you want to avoid any even character spoilers, you should avoid. But the current arc just hits very hard, because it has a lot to do with how one defines their own self-worth and finds value in themselves, and why altruism and doing good stuff for others is fulfilling, and why helping others achieve their true potential is something that just like generally helping others can make Like, it feels good. So, you know, that's kind of general positivity that I really wish there was more of in the world, just in general, even though there is quite a bit, and that's something that I kind of try to bathe myself in, like that kind of positivity. Like, a lot of my feeds are kind of tailor-made for that, because that's more of a healthy attitude towards life, I think. So, at least in certain situations, and you know, just like trying to maintain positive outlook despite hardships. And yeah, I just really like Iruma. It's a fantastic series. So yeah, I just wanted to gush about it a little bit here. So we will move on to games. And I want to first off start with the one game that I've been playing a lot as of the recording of this video, like quite a bit recently, and that is CrossCode. Now, I was already aware of this game, but because of my bucket system and the way I play games through, it's taken a while to reach the game. But now that I've been playing it, I've played like 33 hours or something. It's a reasonable amount of time. I've been going through a lot of it, the content, and I've been just enjoying my time with it, because playing it slowly, having fun, because it's a fantastic game. It's just really, really good. It is like a top-down. Of course, I'm not gonna. This is one of the games that I'm not gonna include any footage for, because it can easily become spoilery, and I kind of want everybody to go into it blind. And I'm not gonna even explain all of the like things that I really love about it, or I will, but in abstract terms as per usual. It's a kind of a hack and slash game and top-down adventure game with, funnily enough, platforming elements from a top-down 2D perspective, which work really well, like far better than I expected. Now, they can make some sections very tricky, where you kind of have to figure out from the clues and like environmental hints that, oh, I can jump here, and that is a really interesting and a unique way to approach making environmental puzzles in a way. And I didn't expect to like enjoy it that much, and it is just surprisingly effective and good. Now, it requires approaching it in a bit of a different manner than a lot of different other games, so it is unique in that sense. Now, it brings to my mind a lot of a game that I really like, really love from PS1, that is Alundra, which is very similar. These are all kind of like Zelda inspired, but Alundra actually has a jump button, which in CrossCode you don't have a jump button. It's automatically jumping when you move to a ledge or run towards a ledge. So that's a bit of a difference, but yeah, and there's of course a lot of more other differences. For example, CrossCode has a really, really heavy emphasis on the combat system, which is very good, to say the least, to not spoil anything. And of course, both games have a very heavy emphasis on story, which, yeah, they are not at all similar in that aspect, but they do have some aspects which are related, like the general themes and stuff, but themes are of course easier to relate than actual plot points. Now, I do really enjoy CrossCode's story, because I didn't expect it to actually start hitting kind of hard and actually be very relatable, and you know, because of explanations of what I don't want to spoil any of the story. Let's just call it that it does feel surprisingly relatable for my circumstances without like being directly parallel. So it's really interesting how it hits so close to home, even while completely missing it. So it's really nice. And of course, I really have been enjoying both the art and the music. So the character designs are just, I don't know what it is, but I really have been enjoying pixel art lately, and it is just fan-freaking-tastic. It's so good. I just really love the character designs for CrossCode. Now, of course, this is less effective when I'm not gonna show them, but, you know, you'll figure them out if you go play the game. So I would highly recommend it. There's a reason why people have, like, it is a lot of people's best game ever. So that's the reason, I'd say. Then we get on to the games which I finished at the end of last month in the span of few days, and the first one will be AI Somnium Files, which, yeah, once again, game I cannot show the footage for because that's not how this one is gonna work. So, it's a detective murder mystery, visual novel, puzzle solving. It's a lot of weird tags in it. But it's like a mystery game, mostly. And that makes it really hard to discuss it. Now, I did finish that, and I finished the game, like, really surprisingly in like, very rapid succession. Like, I just decided, I'll just beat this game, and then I beat it in, like, 2 days. But I kind of started speedrunning through it, because I was like, okay, it's nice. There's a lot of aspects which are... how to say, it feels somewhat mismanaged. I feel it's a complete package. It felt like it came together in the end quite well, but the sense of humor, it's a bit hard to swallow, let's just call it that. I did enjoy it ultimately, but it is mostly because of the mystery aspects. Not so much because a lot of the characters are something that I wish I had liked them more. Let's just say that. There is the main character who has traits which are not exactly heroic, let's call it, and not exactly something that are aspirable, that aspirational attributes. So yeah. It's a fine game. It could have been better. Let's call it that. But hey, it's a fine mystery, and it has a lot of unique elements. So I regret nothing. I just wish it was better, but I have no regrets. Next is another game that I had already actually started before, and I kind of just wanted to finish it, and that was Unheard, which is a very, very unique puzzle game, and once again a mystery game. And this time I'm gonna explain the mechanics, but it's pretty impossible to showcase the game in videos without spoiling anything. It's a game where you hear people's audio and you can, like, listen to them, and they are represented in a map very effectively. Actually, just go check the, like, videos and trailers for it, and that would explain it quite well. You just track people in a map in real time, kind of in real time, and you can move because the way that you hear is, like, kind of realistic, that you'll hear what you would realistically hear in that room, and then you move your such called a audio perception point to another room. I wish there was more of the game. It was really short. When I restarted the game at the end of the month, I was at the literal last chapter, and yeah, that was an unfortunate surprise, because I really got into it, and I was like, oh, it ended. Well, that sucks, because it is really good. It can be sometimes quite trial and error, and it's very, very unique. I wish there was more auditory puzzles or puzzle games like this. So there are some which I'm going to be looking into, but yeah, it's a unique game. That much is certainly true. And now finally I have some video to show, and that is the game which I played through in almost single sitting, and in a single evening actually. And that is Mika and the Witch's Mountain. I backed this game, so, you know, full transparency, I was a backer for the game. I have rarely enjoyed game as much as I did this. I smiled through the whole game, and the only reason why I didn't, or I completed the game. I found it, like I did literally everything, found every collectible and stuff, every secret, and did literally everything, completed it in one sitting, because I didn't want the experience to end. It's very, very reminiscent of Kiki's delivery service. That's the obvious inspiration, and it feels so good. The flying mechanics are just absolutely fantastic. It feels really nice. It's just really, really adorable. The characters are lovely, and they are quite unique, and there's a lot of love and detail put into the game, and it just fills me with joy. Now I cannot actually show all that much because there's gonna be a lot of spoilers here, so you know, it is a thing, it is what it is. But I would really recommend, if you want a cozy, lovely, not too challenging of a game. Like, it has some minor challenges for time trial stuff, you know, it's not too hard. It has a lot of really cool puzzle like platforming elements, which are quite enjoyable, and I just can't stop smiling about the game. So I just wanted to share that this one specifically, because it just brought joy to me so much. And I hope if any of you decide to pick it up, like, I hope you enjoy it, because I certainly did. I wish there are already a lot of cozy games, and this one is just a unique experience. So, but of course I'm biased, I backed the game, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Still, a wonderful experience nonetheless. And to highlight a lovely last little game is the Big Catch Tacklebox, which is kind of a demo version of the game, because we don't know when the full game, the Big Catch, will be released. It's a unique action platformer kind of thing. It's very, very unique so far. It has some, like, the mechanics, the movement mechanics are something that just immediately gave me a smile, and it's just something that really, when the tutorial where you just mess around, just the demo version just is so fantastic. So it's free. Go check it out. Go check it out. That's the best way to experience it. But I just really enjoyed my time with the demo. Like, it's really fun. You can explore the mechanics really well. The art style, it's unique, pretty unique. Kind of a unique. It's a unique art style with the grainy filter and the style that has been reminiscent of older games, which, you know, those have been getting a bit of a renaissance as of late, and what's not to love? So it's something that I have been enjoying quite a bit. Now I didn't play all that much of it because I'm gonna save it for the full game release. So, but yeah, it's a free game, or the demo is free, so go check it out. The Tacklebox version, of course, you can find it in the description. And yeah. Now, for the art section, I'm going to be highlighting certain artworks of an artist by the name of doodlelotl. Their Twitter link will be in the description, at the top of the description, as per usual. So I would highly recommend everybody to go check them out. They are quite fantastic. And there's going to be some fun background why I chose them specifically here. Now, of course, a lot of the inspiration, because you can see the artwork will be flashing here. Yeah, they are like Mikus, different versions of Mikus. Because if you have been online for a while recently, you may have noticed that the Brazilian Miku thing, that kind of fad, has been trending a lot. And well, I have been, of course, enjoying checking out different artworks. And especially because it became a sort of a trend to have Miku representing different cultures and different nations and nationalities, and yeah, that became really, really enjoyable. And that was a really lovely surprise when I ran across, there's a lot of different interpretations of, well, Finnish Miku, and one of them, well, you can see it there. See, there is one of a Sami Miku, which is Sami is the indigenous people of Finland, or who live, indigenous people of Finland, and that is just one of the aspects of culture I really want to like preserve and highlight. That like it's something that I really wish would get a lot more attention, but of course Finland is really small and we don't have like that huge of a impact nationwide in most ways, so I don't know. It's kind of difficult. Now I do think that majority of Finns are quite keenly aware of Sami. Now I don't know exactly how much of a historical background everybody has on that. I know, like in my close circle, a lot of people know a lot more about Sami, of course, and they are. Let's just say that indigenous people have rarely been treated well, and that's one of the reasons why I want them to continue being highlighted. Now, of course, the artwork itself is fantastic. I especially love how Miku is such a very well, like, just a really good design, just in general, that the shape language remains in the similar, and the silhouette is always kind of something that is very recognizable to be Miku, of course, but you can take a lot of liberties with a lot of different aspects. For example, in these artworks you can quite clearly notice how different the hairstyle, for example, is. Even though it is always twin tails, it is very different, and that is just a really fantastic aspect of the design, and that is one of the aspects of that the artist made here quite fantastically that I wanted to specifically highlight. Now, another really lovely aspect here is, of course, that I just really love the colors. Now, being a colorblind person, that's of course always kind of silly to say, but that just means I perceive colors mostly differently. So, especially of course for the Sami Miku, but for all of these, I really enjoy, especially that, of course, the darker shades of blue, purple, and teal. I'm bad with English color names. Those are something that I just really do vibe with quite a bit. So that is something that I just love the color palettes that the artist chose here. So it's good. Now, of course, the artist, of course, is someone who shares nationality with me, so that is also kind of that gives some weight to this, and that's I didn't actually figure that out until a bit later, but regardless, I just really wanted to highlight this because the whole Miku aspect was really enjoyable, and I especially love this art. These pieces of art, it's so fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna just ramble on here for a while because I want to give there a little bit more breathing time so you can enjoy these wonderful pieces of art. Of course, like actually, one of the things about, of course, when Miku is represented is representing Finland is something how different artists choose to highlight Finland and different aspects of it, because that does give some inclination of what has been a lot of their experiences with it. So, and what are the, like, both stereotypes and the aspects that they know to be kind of recognizable. And of course, something more interesting is also, of course, the clothing choices, and yeah, those are all really well highlighted here. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just, like I said, rambling. But yes, of course, go show them support, and I'm very grateful that I was given the permission to showcase their art. So yeah, right. I don't have any more to ramble here. So yeah, let's move on to the outro. So the outro. I do want to thank everybody for your patience. It has been, let's just say, a tumultuous few months, and the schoolwork has been a large component why, well, I haven't been making content that much, or at all, rather. And, well, I'm gonna fix that, of course, but I have to give myself time. So, I will get back to those. I have a lot that I want to do and say, but I am almost caught up with school. So, that is the main priority right now. And after that, well, we'll see what I can do with my free time. That will include videos, but that will also include, let's just say, other projects. So, I thank you all very much for your patience, and I wish to see you again in the future. Have a great day and stay awesome. Ganmu out.